Okay, let's get started. What I'd like to do is to tell you a little bit about the Montreal Origin Destination Survey. This is data that you'll be using for the rest of the class, and so I want you to be able to understand it from the beginning. The Montreal Origin Destination Survey surveys 5% of households in the Montreal region every 5 years and asks them about all the trips that they make during the last 24 hours. What we have here is an open file for the observations from two different municipal sectors. Municipal sectors are like arrondissements, those are normally the size. We are here on the data tab, so it has the actual data as well as you can see the names of each of the columns. These correspond with the variable definitions. So if you wonder what a particular variable means, you can see in the variable definitions page. The ones that we'll be looking at right now or today are e-pair. This means for each individual trip that is recorded in the OD survey, it gets a different individual number. So this is one trip, this is another trip, and here's another trip. If someone is observed or recorded who doesn't make a trip, they still have one of these e-pairs, but they won't have moved. And so if we look at the very end, we have a variable called distance. If they haven't moved, their trip distance will be 0. So it's worth noting that all of the variables, apart from the one that's called e-pair, has a prefix, either an M, a P, or a D. All of those that are prefixed with an M, they refer to the household, the ménage. So M numero is the household number that's been assigned. So you can see there's a number of observations from this household. M début means that if there's a T, that it's the first observation for that family. M FEXP is the expansion factor for that household, the number of automobiles for that household, and you can look at the other variable definitions. The second prefix is a P underscore, and that refers to people, personne. So parent, for example, is the numbered individual in that family. So if we look at this family here, 10028, we see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 observations. And if we look at parent, we'll see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 observations. It means that this family is composed of one person, and that person made 6 trips during the day. So we have a whole series of variables prefixed with P, and they tell us the gender, the age, the group age, their status, whether they have an automobile license, etc. The third prefix is D underscore, and that refers to déplacement or trip. So here, déplacement is the order of the trip. The DFEXP is the expansion factor for that trip. This is when the trip took place. And we have the motive, why the trip was done, what modes were used during the trip. All of this information can be found either in the variable definitions or in the reference guide that's also been added to the Moodle. At the end, we have some information about the trip origin, what municipal sector it started in, what municipal sector it ended in, whether the trip has a non-zero distance, and of course, what the trip distance itself is. So this is the data set you'll be using for now for the first assignment as well as for the second assignment on regression. Hopefully that will have been helpful.